So, good morning. Today I've been tasked with sharpening some of my friends' knives. All of them are inexpensive. They would not have received any type of proper sharpening since they were bought. So they will be interesting to have a go at. Under normal circumstances I'll do it with stones and end up with good polished edges and finish them off fine, fantastic. But another friend of mine wants me to give him some pointers for using something quite simple and straightforward like a diamond sharpener. So today is not about the stones, it's going to be about diamond sharpening. Process is exactly the same, it's just going to be a little bit quicker and easier really. Let's have a look at the kit. So here are the knives. These are my friend's ones. All of them will have the original bevel edge that was got when they were bought. Moving on to my DMT diamond stones, and they range from very coarse to fine and an extra fine. I bought these well over a year ago online. Each one of them probably near enough about £100, and they've still done me proud. They're still usable. The fine and extra fine are nearly running out. But the good thing about these have gone abroad. They've gone to America. They've lasted out in the bush. You can throw them around, and they'll still do the job they can. So I can't recommend DMT enough. Just wish I was on a commission. But like all methods when dealing with very dangerous objects, there is safety first. So we need to rehydrate. What better way to do it with a gin and tonic? Okay, next stage. So first things first, and what I want to do is just show you before and after type stuff. So we're going to see how sharp just one of these knives is at this particular stage. So anyway, so here we go. So this is the blunt. It's cutting, but it's okay. That's it, rubbish. And obviously don't forget safety first. So the kit, as you can see, I've got myself a little rubber base plate. The trouble is when I put it on the kitchen surface, after a little bit of working with water, it just slides around. Even when I put it on cloth, it doesn't tend to stay where it is. So I'd love to have all the fancy stuff, but I don't. So I'm using a trusty 1980s Black & Decker Workmate 2. All the rage back then. Now it's about as useful as a truckload of dead rats in a tampon factory. Anyway, it holds it in place, and that's fine. I will now work around the tool. Help me, it's got a little bit of water and a spray. I've got a pot of water there, an old cloth and some tissue to wipe things down. And then we'll work from there. So just before I start, there's a little very quick summary breakdown of what I'm actually trying to achieve here. So as I say, this knife has its original bevel edge, and I want to turn it into something that's going to be easily sharpenable in the future and sharp now. So if I was to look at a blade down the edge, as you look at it there, down the front there, it will look at the moment something like this. What I want to achieve is to look something a little like this. In order to do so, I need to work the blade, go over the stones until I can get rid of this amount of metal. Now, there are several ways of doing this. As I say, this is not the method, it's a method. I will work the blade backwards and forwards over the stone and feel my way around it. Some people do it a set amount of times, turn over a set amount of times. That's fine. It achieves the same purpose. That's absolutely fine. But ultimately, what we're trying to do, or what we do, is that when I start working down one side of the blade, you'll see that or you'll feel that the metal will be pushed over one edge to look like this. You can then feel that as a sharp burr, and I'll be feeling that evenly up the whole blade. I'll then work the other side of the edge to push it over the other side to make it look like this. And I'll keep doing that backwards and forwards until I'm happy that I've worked it, reshaped the blade, and that burr has been evenly worked. Then I'll work down the grits and make them finer and finer and finer. And then eventually the burr that I'm talking about, you might not be able to see. And that's where the stropping comes in at the end, to get rid of the burr and finally end up with a razor sharp edge. Maintaining an even stroke. Using the coarser blade, coarser stone, just to reshape it. I mean, I can even see the burr. You won't see it on the camera because I'm using an iPhone, but I can feel it and I can see it. And I'm happy because now I've worked back the bevel edge. I don't know if you can see there. Worked back the bevel edge. So that really harsh, coarse grit that I used at the beginning was to reshape it, to brutally bring that bevel edge back. Horrible sound, horrible feeling. But now we're going to work up the grits and smooth everything off, realign. Feel that bevel edge, even all the way through. Now we're moving on to the finer grits. You should be able to hear the difference. And that goes with, you should eventually be able to hear, especially on stones, wherever you bring the blade down, wherever there's an inconsistency and a difference in the roughness. That comes with practice. You can feel it as well. So together with feeling, hearing, you can tell when a blade's reshaped evenly and consistently along itself. Beautiful. Now we're on the finest that I have on my donors. Would I prefer to be using stones? Yeah, of course. Do diamonds have a place in sharpening? Yep. Now for stropping. Stropping. Probably a few ways you can do this. Just like with stones, you can get various different grits of your leather that you want to use for stropping. All I've got is some suede-like leather, very soft, very simple, and I just glued it to a piece of stick. I'm not going to bother any polish with this one. I'm just going to keep it with this suede leather, and I'm just going to gently strop. And the idea is now to gently polish the blade and gently get rid of whatever burr is left on my knife. That's simply done by opposing the knife, whereas on the stone, I've been forcing the blade against the stone. Here I'm going to be the opposite direction. And all I'm doing is putting the blade on, turning it up until it catches, and just let the blade do it. But if it's a very light knife, you have to put a bit of force onto it. Just gently rub it down to the end. Stop the blade, take off, otherwise you're going to smooth and polish off the edge. Do that 5 times maybe, 5 times the other way, and gently work your way down till you're doing it each and every way. But stop the blade at the end, okay? And you'll feel it catch. Like with sharpening, you'll be able to feel where some of the bird edges are. And eventually, you might even see the bird drop off into your leather. Baby stone. Now I'm going to go each and every one. I'll do this about 20 times. Let's give it a test. So, finished product here, done on diamond stones. Now we're going to test it. Cat in the background. Wife will go nuts, but we'll test it anyway. There's a few hairs. Well, hopefully you can see beautifully my hairs. Just be brilliant. Yes, I will disinfect it, Liz, sorry. Moving back, we can see a little bit on the paper. And there we go. Better. Would I get a better finish on stones? Probably, because just using stones, I feel like I'm going to be putting more effort in. With the diamond stones, I don't have to put so much effort in. They do the job. They're fantastic. You can take them out in the bush, you can throw them around, they won't break, unlike stones. You don't have to prep them, and they're simple to use. Hopefully that makes sense. And to my friend who needs a little bit of tuition for their son, hopefully you get a little few tips in here. Put the effort in, get practicing, do the same strokes. It's all about consistency at the same angle, and then you should get the perfect results. And then when you do, then you get a lovely sharp knife. That's a cheap blade, but it's now technically razor sharp. Thank you very much.